Questions for Luke?
Luke, I was talking to Payton the other day. There was a practice during the playoffs where a bunch of guys from parents guarding him. I think it was a warm-up that Joe came up with. Do you remember seeing that, or were you part of that at all?
This was last year's playoffs. I think I do recall this. Yeah, and he just had to go one-on-one like against every. Yeah.
What do you remember about that? On that kind of practice?
What do I remember about it? I remember it was a lot of fun. Also, Payton one-on-one is generally a tough cover because he'll throw like 25 moves at you. So, I don't know. I think I remember. I think it ended with someone getting some stops on him after he probably did like 15 straight ISOs. We did a similar thing in training camp this year, and JD and Jaden were just like going one-on-one against people for like 20 straight minutes. It's a war of attrition, and it's I remember enjoying it. I don't remember what exactly happened.
Are you part of those one-on-ones at all too when you guys do that?
I used to be a lot. I used to play with Payton a lot when I first got here. The first like 2 years or so, we would play a lot. Now I don't do it as much. Team defense and all.
Have you studied shot blocking, do it differently?
Not really. Like studying it in a general sense, but like I think just like kind of with more reps in our defense and kind of just through film and stuff with Emil and the coaches of like what exactly we're wanting, and I think you just kind of get used to situations a little bit more, and then I think also just turned up kind of just trying to be assertive on both ends, and like I was kind of taking ownership of that possession by possession. Honestly, I feel like last game I could have done a better job, but you kind of just start seeing the situations and you just kind of just develop that flow and confidence, and you just get more aggressive.
Left hand
I think so. I feel like I was always just tracing the ball with whatever works. I'm always trying to kind of keep my shoulders square too, to try to not foul, and so a lot of times you're having to chase it with whatever hand kind of works the most. And a lot of times also not even necessarily going for blocks as much as tracing the ball and making it as difficult a shot hopefully as possible.
You're not somebody who's really on social media. Have you been able to kind of just block out all the discourse on Twitter and what people are saying on national TV? Do you feel like that has allowed you to really just be removed from it, or is it kind of inescapable just being a part of society, regardless of what
You definitely still hear sort of a little bit about it, but frankly pretty blocked out from it. You also kind of realize over time kind of like what your default of actually like evaluating your performances, and kind of when you just trust your own assessment of it, and then also with like the coaches and kind of watching it back yourself. I feel like that's honestly enough feedback to kind of worry about that if you start kind of spreading outside more than that. And I do feel that's kind of been a blessing for me and my life, and honestly just for our family, of kind of just knowing kind of who you're accountable to, and being okay with that. And then it also just like gets kind of a little bit of yourself sort of less engaged in terms of being really worried about things you can't control. And I'd recommend it to most. I think it'd be generally a good thing. I used to be way too active back in the day on Twitter, and I think it's better for me that, and probably the world, that's been curtailed.
How much self-scouting work have you guys been able to do, I guess, as a silver lining being outside of the NBA Cup now, with the extra time that you've had to have practices like this and just watch film?
It's been definitely a different kind of a place than when you're every day or every other day playing a game, that I think has been able to kind of sort of allow yourself to take a step back of sorts, and I think just kind of in a weird sense, I think even just with being sort of removed from the NBA Cup now, kind of just like bringing that focus back to yourselves where you're at, and the focus on where we're trying to go and how we're trying to improve. I do feel like this kind of period has been like a nice time for that assessment, and you wish you were playing in these games with a really high competitive level, and with like higher stakes. But I think it is like a nice time to be able to. I think also just critically evaluate yourself and really work on things. I think Joe's been good about doing that for our team.
Thank you.
Yep.